Yo, homies, thanks for coming back. I mentioned in my last video that I use a digital organizing system called StashHub, and I wanted to come back and show you guys how I use my StashHub, kind of walk you through how it works and everything. So before I got StashHub, I've had StashHub for at least 2 years, maybe like 2.5. I started out with the free trial, and then I was like, okay, I really like this. I want to use it. I want to add more to it. And so I purchased it. I felt like, and it's paid off for me. So before I started using Stash Hub, I used my Google Drive account. And so that meant that I would take a picture of the front and back of every pattern. And then that's where I also stored my digital patterns. So my indie patterns, and digital patterns. At that time, the Big Five weren't offering digital. So it just was my indie patterns. But anyhow, so that is what I used. And it worked great. And the main reason I started doing that was because I would go into Joann's RIP and I would see fabric. I would love it. And I think, oh, I think it would go great with this pattern that I have at home. But I don't know how much yardage I need or the notions that I need. And so having that picture of the front and the back helped me, and I would organize them from woven and knit, and then for indie patterns by the designer, and that helped a lot when I was in the store, and then I could use it on the computer as well when I was shopping online. But that was all it could do for me. So when I heard about Stash Hub and I wanted to try it, I thought it has more features. I might be able to do more with it. Other options I heard about using, which I feel like would be similar to the Google Drive effect, or at least this first one, Pinterest. Taking a picture, having pictures, having ideas, having a wish list, things like that in Pinterest. And it still is a really good free way to do that. And I do love Pinterest boards. Another paid option I heard about was Trello. I've never tried Trello, but I know people that love it, and it sounds more aesthetic, more kind of like Pinterest or kind of like vision boards. I'm not sure of all the ins and outs, but I know that's also a popular option. But I found Stash Hub. I liked it from the beginning, so I didn't feel the need to go looking in other places. So what I like most about Stash Hub is you can log everything in there. Your notions, your wish list, your patterns, all the things, and keep track of it all. And so I'm going to show you guys now and dive into exactly how I use my Stash Hub, features that I use, and some things that it can do. We'll talk about too how I want to use it better. So I'll jump on the computer here and give you guys a look-see. Here are my patterns in the Stash Hub app. These are all the patterns I currently have in my stash. I can also see the patterns I haven't made. I can see the patterns that I have made. I can see everything. I can see the patterns in my wish list. And then manage filters, which I believe is new. I don't have any. Never used it. And then I can also add. I only use Magic Input. I should probably try the bulk add or the bulk edit. But I can't think of anything in bulk that I would be changing or adding. But say I wanted this pattern Emporium pattern, I could pull it up, copy the URL, go back to my Stash Hub, and just drop that in there. Tell them I'm going to be getting the PDF and add it. Once it starts to populate from the website, I can then go in and choose the views that I want saved in my Stash Hub. So say that's okay. Then I can take this line drawing. Come with me. And drag it down there. If they have like the chart for how much yardage you need, I could drop and drag that down here or anything else. You can do up to 8 or 9 pictures, I believe. And then up here, I'm going to tell them it's on my wish list. And then it'll be saved there. So then when I'm on my wish list, there goes the Spill the Tea top that we just uploaded. Also, if we go in there, I have the picture, all the pictures that we checked off, the line drawing, but it also from the website pulls the name, the designer, the description that the website has. It tells me the garment type, the body type, the age, design features, shaping darts, elastic, sleeve length, cap, long, elasticated wrists, flounce, all the things. I can add tags if it was a bag pattern, craft them. These I added myself. Size range, if I had cup sizes, that would go there. The notions that you need, fabric category, knit, woven, stretch, or other. The suggested fabrics, all that is pulled from the website. It doesn't usually pull the fabric requirements, and that's changes, of course, based on the size that you choose anyway. But I could add that manually, the format that we chose, the sewing level that's on the website, the price, the date acquired, which is on my wish list. I didn't really acquire it, but if I do buy this pattern, I can go in and change that date. And then I can make notes about the adjustments. I can make other notes. The link, if I click open link, it'll take me back directly to that pattern. So if something didn't populate it by chance, I could go back in and do that there. And then I could say, if I printed the pattern, if I traced the pattern, cut it out, I can rate my patterns. I could create a project, which is great. So I could go in, create a project. Let's say we just want to put cute summer top. Then we can go in and choose a fabric. It was woven. So I could go into my filter, choose type, no, category. Yeah, woven. Apply. I want unused fabric. So say we're going to just use this by chance. And then I could say it was more about the fabric than the pattern. I could add other pattern options. I can go in and choose me. That's the most current me. The notions, the shopping list. If there was a cute top that I was inspired by that I'm hacking or going to use to make something similar, I could add that under my inspirations, or I could go in and add a new inspiration. Then I could put the date started, the season. If it's very important, I could put a priority, what I need to do, and check them off as I go. And then if I have any mock-ups, work in progress, photos, I can do that then too. And then that's saved in with all of my other projects. So then completed projects, projects that are in progress, all the things. And you can still filter from here to the ideas. You can filter for completed, all the things there. Search and everything. Then if we go to fabrics, it's very similar. You can do a magic input. So if you're shopping online, you can put the fabrics there. You can also take a picture of your fabric, like this one that I used. I took a picture of the fabric because I bought it at a store that didn't have an online shop, and I just saved it in there, and then I added all of my own descriptions, how much I purchased, the date, the colors, all the things. But that has been used already. And so it has great information, and this will really help me with my not buying fabric this year. So looking forward to that. And the fabric, some of the jersey type, the fabric composition. So if I want something with a certain amount of stretch, all of that information is in there. If I've washed the fabric. One of the other great things I like about Stash Hub is they're always coming out with new features. They have a very good community. It's not a Facebook group, but it's similar to that. I think it used to be a Facebook group, but it's their own website. So Stash Hub is owned and ran by a husband and wife team from the UK, I believe. Not positive about that. And they have very good socials, very good feedback. I emailed Yvette, the wife, well, I emailed Stash Hub, Yvette is who responded, about if I could do a YouTube video about Stash Hub. And she said, of course, but she emailed me back within like 24 hours. So they're just very active with their community. It's also very affordable. Everyone knows I'm frugal. It's an annual price, which I like. That's affordable instead of a monthly price. So I just put it in my calendar every year so I know when it's going to renew, and it's great. So this was back in Joann's days. Oh, memories. This is not the right picture for this fabric, and I just have never went in to change it. So I could be more organized with my Stash Hub, but I love it all the same, and it works very well for me. So let's go in here and see if we can, I'll start a project for my sorority pajamas 2026. So I'll add the fabric, the unused fabric. Is the fabric in here? If it's not in here, I'll add it and show you guys. Okay, let's go to all, and then let me see if I filter by shop. I'm just going to do boho. Here it is. So we're going to choose that. Then we're going to choose the pattern. Unmade. There it is. Put that there. And then it's going to be for me. I think I need to add some measurements. It looks like I only did my waist and what did I put in here? My waist and my hips. So I need to take some new measurements and add it in there. Notions, I think we do need, I don't have notions. You can also keep track of your notions in here, and I haven't started doing that feature. It's not for a challenge. I don't really have any inspiration. Oh, here we go. But I'm going to need elastic, buttons, and thread, and it knows that because of the pattern that I chose. Then if I have any notes, the priority is up next. We'll put, I think the season is maybe spring, autumn, and winter. Maybe not summer. Haven't started it yet. I do have a deadline. So let's put that I want it done by the 7th. Okay, I cut it out. I just have not started sewing it yet. Well, I cut out the pattern. Actually, I haven't cut the fabric. And that's it. And so we're planning. We'll put in progress since I cut the pattern. And there we go. So now here it is, in progress. Puts the deadline. It says I cut it out. All the information there. One of the other great things that I enjoy about Stash Hub is the stats. So it tells me I have 34 fabrics. They have a comma, but it's really a period. So 95.03 yards is telling me the fabric that I have. It tells me the colors, the fabric types that I have the most of, the fabric shops that I shop the most at, which one here is a tie between boho and style maker. The key, as in any database, is good information in, good information out. And I could definitely tighten it up, but I have a good baseline for what I'm putting in. So it tells me how much I have uncut, remnant, scraps, used, all of that. Also, if I'm putting in accurate dates of when I purchased fabric, then this will be accurate of when I've purchased fabric. And there's nothing for this year. And then patterns. Oh, no, let's go back to stats and do patterns there. It says I have 222 patterns. The percentage I've made is 28.4%. The garment types, mostly dresses. So if I was looking at this and I would say, I probably need nothing. Nothing is, I mean, I have tops, I have trousers, I have shorts. So I could look more at the actual patterns for specifics and say maybe I wanted more sleeveless tops. I think I do want, not like with straps, but just sleeveless. But a lot of indie patterns that have sleeve options, sleeveless is an option. So maybe not. So something to review. The top designers, which Love Notion, Simplicity, Cashmere, pattern status, how many have unmade, toiled, made, and then when I purchased fabrics. Patterns, I mean, these patterns, either it's incorrect or they're not garment patterns, because I think I did buy a bad pattern and definitely that stuffed, maybe 2 stuffed teddy bear patterns that I made last year. So the stats are a great feature. You can also look at your projects, like how many you've completed, how many you've entered, and all the information there. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, checking out how I use my Stash Hub. Let me know what you use to keep your patterns, fabric, notions, if you have yarn or whatever your hobby is, how you keep all the things organized. If you use some type of electronic database, let me know in the comments. Of course, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will also put a link to Stash Hub in the bottom where you can use, in the description, where you can use a coupon code and check it out for yourself. I almost forgot to tell you guys what I learned. I learned a lot of things. I got to start journaling them because this series could last all year. But what I learned about doing content when I created this video, which was do my intro and my outro. I'm doing something on the computer or showing other things in the middle to do them all at the same time, which I didn't think of. So the black headband that I had on the beginning, I could not locate when I went to do this outro. But thanks again for joining, guys. Put all your comments, tips, and tricks. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you again soon.